This is the third and last GPP workout based off calisthenics I completed this summer. Let's push it! Yo, what's a crack, my happy-faced pullers, your personal trainer T-Talks, changing people's lives for the better through strength and fitness. Today I'm going to share with you the other upper body routine I did this summer after I took a couple of days off from barbell training. This calisthenics workout is entirely based on pressing movements whereby I push external objects away from me in different directions. Alright, time to push it hard. Let me repeat once again that the workouts of this series are meant to serve as active recovery for a week. That's why I'm not providing a path towards making these exercises harder over time. This is a calisthenics workout in the context of a deload week, a short phase where I seek to dissipate accumulated fatigue and recover from the physical stress of several weeks of intense training. In short, my goal here is to stimulate, not annihilate. I also want to remind you that I'm going to give you two easier variations of the same workout for those of you who need to scale back the intensity. That way you can follow along regardless of your level. By the way, if you think it's cool that a geezer like me is taking the time to make inclusive videos for people around the world to become fitter and stronger, go ahead and do some smashing. I'll count that as your first repetition. The first exercise of this routine is Pike Push-ups. The technique of this movement could be a little bit tricky to get your head around if you've never done it before, especially if you only train with external weights. Think about the mechanics of the Pike Push-up as two distinct barbell exercises you have to perform one after the other. The pressing angle at the bottom is similar to the incline bench press, but as you travel back to the initial position, the movement morphs into a vertical push that resembles the lockout of a military press. The best cues I can give you on the Pike Push-up are these. First, your body doesn't travel in a straight line. You have to lean forward when you come down and then push back up in the exact same angle as you overcome the resistance. This forward lean helps you clear your head out of the way. Second, in order for you to push the floor in the strongest mechanical position, your forearms should be perpendicular to the surface while your elbows remain tucked in. Third, push through your head at the top of the movement to allow the muscles involved in scapular elevation to assist you in the lockout. Given that I placed my hands on the edge of the stairs, I got to perform the Pike Push-up in its full range of motion. If you're not strong enough to perform this variant, I'd suggest you try the regular version. That way you shorten the range of motion in the hardest part of the movement, that is the bottom. The regular version of the Pike Push-up could be great for level 2 athletes. If you still can't complete at least 3 repetitions of the regular Pike Push-up, you can always hold an isometric top position on an elevated surface or do some eccentric repetitions. Level 1 athletes would likely get challenged by holding an isometric contraction at the top with your feet planted on the floor. Just like I did in the upper body pull session earlier this week, I decided to add a finisher exercise before moving on to the next phase of the workout. Today is all about holding a wall handstand for 60 seconds. This extra set would be optional for level 2 athletes, although I think an elevated pike hold would be appropriate and manageable. Level 1 athletes would skip this part altogether. Their shoulders, triceps, and traps are probably screaming from the first exercise of this routine. The second movement is a version of a dip I've been using during my regular training as an accessory for hypertrophy. I freaking love this exercise and I'm going to tell you why. You see, for me to keep parallel bar dips within the 12 to 15 rep range, I need to include some additional weight. This could be easily achieved through extra load, aka weighted dips. However, when you are on the road, you want to minimize the equipment you have to carry around. For times like these, resistance bands are fantastic. Please be aware that resistance bands could be a double-edged sword in that you need to understand how they alter the strength curve of a movement to make the most of them. In the specific case of the dip, the bands provide almost no added resistance at the bottom, but they gradually increase the tension as they get stretched on the way up. In other words, banded dips emphasize even more the contribution of the triceps, as this muscle group is the primary mover in elbow extension, which is exactly the function bands make harder to perform. Regular dips on their own are already a great bodyweight option to train your triceps alongside your chest and anterior deltoids. But the elastic nature of the bands favors the contribution of the triceps in the concentric phase of the dip. Level 2 athletes will be very well served by doing regular dips. Level 1 athletes could either perform negative repetitions with at least a 5-second descent, or alternatively, if eccentric work is still overwhelming, you could complete an isometric hold at the top for time while doing scapular elevation and depression for the prescribed number of repetitions. A word of caution, the vast majority of people would be able to perform this exercise with no problem whatsoever. But there is a small percentage of the population who are not anatomically built for dips. If you feel an acute pain, I'm not talking about discomfort, I'm talking about an excruciating pain, almost as if your sternum was about to rip apart, stop. Ditch dips and add an extra set to both the first and third exercises of this routine. Alright, back to the workout. Same finisher as before, wall handstand hold for time. Trying to get past the 60-second mark in this upside down position before moving on to the next exercise. Pike push-ups are a shoulder-dominant exercise that primarily targets the clavicular head of the pectoralis. Banded dips with an upright torso are more triceps dominant, but we have also accomplished a good deal of chest activation in a more downward direction. Now we can complete the trifecta of trajectories by performing a horizontal pressing exercise. It's time for some push-ups, baby! As I already mentioned in the other upper body workout of this series, both push-ups and inverted rows are the absolute best investment of your time to develop fundamental upper body strength if you're new to strength training in calisthenics. Because I want to target my pectoralis muscle more specifically and reduce the contribution of a highly fatigued set of triceps, I'm doing the exercise here with a slightly wider hand placement than regular push-ups. This isn't a free pass for any flaring out of the elbows, however. Always keep your elbows underneath the shoulder line and tuck in. If you do that, you'll be golden. The push-up is essentially a moving plank. When we look at it this way, we can understand why the push-up requires such a high level of tension throughout the body, especially the midsection. Avoid the classic banana shape with a sagging lower back. Push-ups are not only a chest exercise like so many bros want you to believe. Accumulated fatigue combined with a controlled eccentric phase are helping me to keep my push-up count around 20 reps. On top of that, I'm making sure that my chest taps the ground every single time. That way, I'm moving my body through the longest possible range of motion when doing push-ups on the floor. I would expect level 2 athletes to be able to complete somewhere between 8 to 15 repetitions at this point. If you can complete at least 8 full range of motion reps on the floor, go ahead and place your arms on an elevated surface for some assistance. Incline push-ups are the regression I would like to see level 1 athletes complete. Just make sure that you pick an angle that challenges you past the 8th repetition. And now I'm going to wrap things up here with another 60 to 90 second wall handstand hold, just to finish off my shoulders and traps. We're almost done, promise. Now I would like to give you 2 options to choose from. If you're more interested in strength and hypertrophy, I would invite you to complete 2 sets of tricep extensions with gymnastic rings. If you have this piece of equipment, this finisher exercise is one of the best ways to target your triceps in calisthenics. If you don't have rings, no worries, you can still do it with a bar. However, if you are someone who favors metabolic conditioning at the end of a training session, I suggest you do a nasty EMOM of 10 burpees for 5 minutes. EMOM stands for every minute on the minute, and you would have to do 10 burpees and only rest for the remainder of that minute. Once the 60 seconds are up and a new minute starts, then you complete another set of 10 burpees. Level 2 athletes could do 8 burpees for 4 to 5 minutes, it's up to you. And level 1 athletes could do 5 regular burpees for 4 to 3 minutes. I know, you hate me already for bringing burpees into this, but hey, burpees don't like you either. If it makes you feel any better, I had to do the 2 exercises for the sake of demonstration, so the joke is on me. Now I'm going to show you the layout of the 3 levels I proposed for this calisthenics push workout. Feel free to pause the video to look up the level that better matches your current strength. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tagging along this calisthenics series. If you don't want to miss any upcoming videos on fitness, strength, and sports performance, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell to get notified when I release a new video. And more importantly, if you felt like you learned something new or you found value in today's video, I would really appreciate if you could drop me a like. Stay fit, stay strong, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more gains.